Close your eyes and let your mind drift back thousands of years to a time when the world moved at a gentler pace. Imagine the ancient libraries of Alexandria, where scholars would spend their days quietly copying manuscripts by candlelight, their quills scratching softly against papyrus. The Mediterranean waves lapped peacefully against the harbor walls as ships arrived carrying precious scrolls from distant lands. In the rolling hills of ancient Mesopotamia, farmers would rise with the sun to tend their crops of barley and wheat. The Euphrates River flowed slowly through the fertile plains, its waters nurturing the very first cities humanity ever built. Clay tablets were pressed with wedge-shaped marks, recording the simple daily transactions of merchants and the gentle movements of celestial bodies across the star-filled sky. Farmers would wade through the flooded fields, planting seeds that would grow into sustenance for entire communities. They would gather in their longhouses during the long winter nights, sharing stories and working quietly on their crafts. The northern lights would dance silently overhead as they carved intricate patterns into wood and bone. The sound of water trickling over stones provided a constant, soothing backdrop to their contemplative work. Tea ceremonies unfolded with deliberate slowness, each movement part of a meditative ritual. The Great Pyramids stood silently under starlit skies, their limestone blocks fitted together by workers who sang quiet songs as they labored. The monastery bells would mark the peaceful rhythm of daily prayers, echoing across countryside where sheep grazed quietly in green meadows. Their work was a meditation in itself, each letter formed with care and reverence for the knowledge they were preserving. The sound of bamboo fountains filled the air, marking time with their rhythmic tipping and pouring. Cherry blossoms would fall like gentle snow, reminding observers of the beautiful impermanence of all things. The Silk Road stretched like a dream across continents, where caravans moved slowly through vast deserts and mountain passes. Markets where goods were exchanged with patient bargaining. Homes where families gathered for simple meals, and temples where people sought peace and understanding. The gentle rhythms of history continue, and you are part of this eternal, peaceful flow of time. These moments of tranquility echo across the centuries, reminding us that beneath all the grand events of history, life has always been lived in quiet, meaningful moments. Poets would sit in the shade of pomegranate trees, composing verses about love and loss, while the day slowly faded into evening. Camels plodded steadily forward, their bells chiming softly in the desert air. Philosophers would walk slowly through olive groves, pondering questions about existence while the Mediterranean breeze rustled through silver-green leaves. Merchants would rest in caravanserais, sharing stories and tea as the sun set behind sand dunes that had witnessed countless generations pass by. The stories flowed like gentle rivers, connecting past and present in an unbroken chain of memory and wisdom. In ancient Egypt, the Nile River rose and fell with the seasons, bringing life to the desert. Roman roads connected distant provinces, built stone by patient engineers. Along these paths, messengers would travel at a leisurely pace, stopping at way stations where they could rest and share news from far-off places. The roads themselves became gathering places where different cultures met and mingled peacefully. Buddhist monks in ancient India would sit in meditation for hours, their breathing steady and calm. Temple bells would ring softly across mountain valleys, calling the faithful to evening prayers. Pilgrims walked slowly along mountain paths, their footsteps wearing smooth grooves in the stone that can still be seen today. The Vikings, often thought of as fierce warriors, spent most of their time as peaceful farmers and traders. In medieval monasteries, monks would tend their herb gardens with gentle care, growing healing plants that would help their communities. Ancient Chinese scholars would practice calligraphy in tranquil gardens, their brushes moving gracefully across rice paper. The ancient Greeks would gather in their symposiums, not for wild parties as sometimes depicted, but for thoughtful discussions that would last long into the night. Native American tribes across the continent would sit around campfires, sharing oral histories that had been passed down through generations. Ancient Persian gardens were designed as earthly paradises, with fountains that bubbled softly and pathways that curved gently between fragrant flowers. The Byzantine Empire preserved the wisdom of ages in their scriptoriums, where monks would spend years copying a single manuscript. In ancient Japan, tea masters would prepare their ceremonies with movements as graceful as a dance. The ancient world was filled with quiet moments of human connection and contemplation. Let these images of peaceful antiquity fill your mind as you drift toward sleep, knowing that the same stars that watched over ancient civilizations now watch over you.